The next piece is the biopsychosocial approach, which is, as it says in the name, it's the intersection between the biology, psychology, and the sociology of somebody. I really, really, really love this because, I think about myself in this sort of environment, and I'm almost seen as like a facilitator or an educator. But if you put me, on the weekend, I'm a soccer player. Monday to Friday, I'm an advisor. At home, I'm a fiance. So there's all sorts of different sociological influences that influence me. Clearly there's the psychology or my thoughts, my heuristics that sits there. But then again, there's my biology as well, which is that preset. So there's really three layers three layers to any sort of individual person or circumstance, which is really, really sort of fascinating. And yeah, look, to that end, this is what that looks like. And I've just got a note here that says, until recent decades, the traditional approach, especially around wellness and health, focused specifically on the biological side of things. It was, if somebody was unwell, there was a biological imbalance, and that was the limit. However, the academic side of things has been really successful in understanding that no, biology is part of the piece, but there's also the psychology and the sociological piece as well. Think about this if we've got, somebody again coming in to see us because they want to put together some sort of a financial plan. Clearly that, there are elements there that, are purely sociological, but then we need to recognize that there are perhaps biological limitations or psychological ones as well. So again, as an advisor, if we just take a step back and almost, take a bird's eye view of that first interaction with people, just recognize that it's, their circumstance isn't limited to what we see in a fact find necessarily. There are all these different factors that sit behind them and actually drive, who they are, why things are the way they are, what they want as well. To that end, if we open up the bonnet of what those three things look like, this is kind of a cool guy that sort of goes to explain that a little more. So again, if I'm sitting down with a client and all I've got is a fact find that shows income, expenses, assets, liabilities, whether or not they've got a will, this starts to open the bonnet to say, well, geez, there's probably a lot of stuff there that I've not captured when I need to think about how I can create the most efficient plan for them to have that behavior change. The numbers are clearly important, and I don't want to shy away from that, but I'm saying it starts the conversation. It's not the focus of the conversation necessarily. So yeah, I hope that resonates to some level as, something that, is worth keeping in the back of our minds when we're talking to people. I think of that as a financial advisor. I think of that as a business owner. If I was in marketing or communications, I'd absolutely be thinking about this stuff as well. So, if you've got copywriters or people putting together your emails or those sorts of things, gee, sitting on this stuff is, it gives you a much more holistic view. So that's a biopsychosocial approach. Lots of academia on this space as well. So if, you were interested in looking more into it, I don't have time today, but, lots of stuff there. And to that end, I will like quotes that eloquently capture things. So I think, recognizing the sociological aspect of things, which the biopsychosocial model does, seeks to reveal that which is hidden, and it's extending beyond a fact find. And like I say, I beat the drum, this is stuff that I started to look at 6 years ago, but I think financial services and advisors are getting better at this stuff. If I had a criticism of Phasea, it's that it doesn't recognize this stuff to the full extent. I know ethics and professionalism are things that are getting built in, but again, we're almost starting at it from the wrong side, I would argue. This is the sort of stuff that we should be, teaching at school, and the application not only extends beyond health and wellness, but clearly financial services and beyond. So, yeah, hopefully that resonates.